Hello viewers, today we're going to be cleaning and servicing an Oreck XL Classic upright vacuum. This is an early 2000s model. It is the Oreck XL2310RS, dated 03163. I think that decodes as the first two digits are the year, which would be 2003, and I think 163 is 163rd day of the year. I could be mistaken, but I think that's how it works. This one's for household use only. There does exist a commercial model, and quite frankly, I really think that they're the same inside. So this one, ironic timing, this was an instance of something being priced too high at the Goodwill. This was priced at $30, which is a bit much, and it was sitting in the store for weeks. I wasn't getting it because it was too expensive, and then I eventually caved and got it because it's just in fantastic condition. And this is one of my favorite Oreck models, the Classic with that type of handle. And I don't have this color, so this is fine, we'll get it. It's priced too high for a thrift store in my opinion, because at this point in time you can buy a modern, which of course I know that the old ones are better, but the average consumer doesn't think that. You can buy a modern, fancy, bagless, upright vacuum with suction tools and so forth for less than $75. There's several models that are less than $75. How long will they last? How will they work? I don't know, but they exist. So for something like this, which is very basic, very traditional, old school design, over 20 years old, they price at half of that of a new one that's so-called better, and there's not enough quotations in the world to put around that word. To me that's ridiculous, especially because this one, like all of these at this point in time, because materials degrade, the belt's gone, it needs a new belt, the brush roll is either packed with dirt or is worn out, so you got to put a couple dollars into it. Those are very cheap parts, not a big deal, but the average consumer doesn't know how to do that probably, although it's extremely simple on these. Oreck could not have made it any simpler on these. Case in point is the average person walks into the thrift store, buys a vacuum, and expects to take it home and clean the house at night, and it's not going to work. And then it's going to go in the trash. It's not correct. At this particular store, I've seen these listed for as low as $6, and I've seen these listed as high as like $45, $50. The topic of the pricing in the Goodwills and other thrift stores has come up a lot recently, and this is an example of where it was too high. But again, at some point the right person will come along who's willing to pay that, and it sells, and so they keep listing them at that prices. Oh well. For my personal use case, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I've got the parts on hand already. I'll get it changed in 5 minutes, and I'm used all the time. So to me it's worth it, and you know, the videos will pay for it over time, which is one of the really cool things about doing this. Alright, so let's get into this here. It's in really quite good condition. The graphic here on the front is flawless, which is kind of uncommon, and it's got to be low hours. Even the latch here, you can tell this wasn't used much. The latch is still very firm. So actually we need to have it turned around. I suppose first we need to take the bag off. No, we don't need to. We're not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna wash the bag out. I checked inside here, and it's actually remarkably clean. You know, you can see there's some dust in here, but usually this is caked with dust and everything. This is cleaner than the one I use on a daily basis. Alright, so belt replacement. is super simple on these. It's one screw. And that's it, there's your belt. And you can see this is all cracked and stretched out. Now see, this sat for a long time. You can see it's got the memory of sitting on the shaft. And it's all shiny inside. It's clearly been slipping. Yeah, it's well past its usable lifespan. See all the cracking in there. It shouldn't stretch out like that as easily if it's working properly. And that's it. You just slip a new belt on real easy. So the brush roll, it actually doesn't seem like it's worn down too bad, but it's pretty caked. So we're going to want to clean this out. Yeah, actually I think that in terms of wear, you can see it's still contacting below the surface there by at least about 1/8 of an inch, and that's really all it's supposed to do. So I think we're fine with the brush roll itself. We just need to clean it out. Curiously, the spare belt has been used, so this must have seen some action over the years, but definitely not much. You can oil the wheels a little bit. The squeegee is broken off, but this is only a single speed model. So, actually, did it ever have one? Now, some of them have, the 2-speed ones have a little squeegee back here. So when you're on the hard floors, the dust and dirt won't fling backwards. But this being a single speed one is really only intended for use on carpet. This is falling off. We gotta put that back on too. Okay. One cover comes off, and we now have access to just about everything that we would need. So we'll clean this off. It's so, there's some dirt on there, but nothing crazy. Everything looks good in the motor. A little bit of dust, we'll vacuum it out. That's ironic. It looks fine in there. So this just kind of pulls up and out like this, very simple. And these are reversible. As they age, you can turn. You can see it says new and old. As the this is like a 2-position situation here. As it ages, you can turn this around like this and put it back in, and then the brush roll is closer to the floor, which will make up for your bristle wear. So we'll go ahead and turn it around when I put it back in. Or actually, I'm not sure. Does the indicator... I don't remember if the indicator is to be facing up or down. I suppose we could probably measure it and find out, maybe. That's 1/2 inch, and that's about 1/2 inch as well. Oh, there's the difference. That's about 1 That's about, no, that's, yeah, 1.5, and then this is, no, that's 1.5 too. Alright, I guess I don't understand how this works. Either way, I don't think that that's going to make a huge difference though, because it seems like it only would apply to one side anyways. Well, regardless, this brush roll is still pretty good. Let me grab a new one just to compare it to. I gotta get out the box of parts anyways to go to the belt. That's Oreck belts, and that's Oreck belts. Now, I might not have another brush roll on hand. I thought I did. I guess I gotta order some more. Well, it's a good thing this brush roll is generally okay, because I don't have any on hand. Alright, so this, let's see here. This one is a, usually these are ending in 604, 10604, but these are 3604. Yeah, that might be the right thing. Well, we'll see it. We'll try it. If it's not the right thing, then we'll have to do a part 2 on this. Alright, I'm going to go upstairs and get the vacuum with the hose on it so we can clean this out. first row is all cleaned. A lot of people just replace these by default, but there really is no need to replace this one. It's got plenty of life left in it, and it cleaned up just fine. I don't like to replace parts that don't need to be replaced. It's a waste of money, waste of resources. We'll keep this one in there for a while. So that's ready to go. You can put that back. You know, I was going to take the whole thing apart, but I don't think there's a reason to. I think we can just clean it in place. So we'll take this off for cleaning, because this is kind of dirty. And then we'll just clean the, I think we'll just clean the top with some melamine foam, and that should make it look like new. Also put a little bit of oil in these wheels too, make them glide a little easier. Not that this is a heavy machine by any means, but a couple drops of oil won't hurt. Probably easier just to do it in place. And you don't want to put much because you don't want it to leak out and then get into carpet. A very small amount, one drop is good enough. This one might need it on both sides. I guess they both need it on both sides. These are actually worn out. These take more weight and a very small surface area. Put a little, just a small drop into these as well. It's full of hair. Sometimes these clog up with hair and don't even turn properly anymore. These are surprisingly clean. Okay, let's get the melamine foam over here, clean up the base, and then we should be good to reassemble. Do a dry sweep of this little crevice here to get all the the dust out. Melamine foam. That looks pretty nice. Not bad at all. And this will come out like new as well. This melamine foam stuff is just unbelievable. I've only used it for maybe 5 or so projects so far, and it's still absolutely incredible. I've never used anything like it. And I'm not even scrubbing it aggressively. It's just doing the work all by itself. It's amazing. No chemicals, no cleaners, just a little bit of water. And we'll just clean the handle real quick because there's some irremovable Goodwill price tag sticker sticky residue on here, which hopefully will come off. Otherwise I might have to get Goo Goes, whatever that stuff is called. That's cool, not in the frame. It's coming off, it's just taking a lot of effort. That's the one thing I find that this melamine foam does not work the best on, and that's sticky Goodwill price tag sticky residue. But Goo Gone, or no, yeah, is it Goo Gone? I think is what it was. It works pretty good on that, so that's fine. Alright, that's good. Alright, I think we're ready to reassemble now. It's not perfect, but you know, the first time you use it, it's going to be dirty again, so I usually don't bother trying to clean vacuums to total perfection. My collection of pretty much everything seldom ever focuses on cosmetic perfection because I use all my stuff. When these vacuums clean the house, they don't sit on the floor and just look pretty. Alright, so let's get this reinstalled here. This was a little wonky before, and it seems like it wants to be a little wonky right now as well. This is really not wanting to go on correctly. I'm getting it, but it's taking a little bit more effort than usual. Okay, there we go. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't know why that took so much effort to get it in place. Oh man, I put this on upside down, I think. Is that why I was having so much trouble? No, it's on right. Oh, you know what the problem is? This is a little bit off-centered. It doesn't really matter, but it's a little off-center. Ideally, that should be split in the middle. And it should only be the length of this. I wonder if this is stretched out. So it's only rubber. I suppose it could be deteriorating with time. This is really putting up a fight all the way around the whole case here. Alright, that's good. So in place, isn't it? Nope, it's not quite in place in this corner. This corner. No, see, it's not in place properly over here. Now it is. Alright, that looks pretty good with the seal. That came out real nice. Okay. Brush roll with new belt. It's a little bit easier, especially when the belts are very fresh, to put them on like this and then put the brush roll in place. You absolutely can put them on from the side there. I just find it a little bit easier to do it this way. And it's going to be very tight. That's normal. So I've got it right now with new facing up. And I wonder if we can tell any difference. That's about 1/8 of an inch from the little piece of metal there. Let's flip it around to old, which I would expect is the longer side, but again, it's only making a difference on this one end, so does it really matter? Oh yeah, it did come out a little bit more. I mean, not by much, but a little bit. Well, we'll leave it on old. It's going to work better that way anyways. Yeah, I think this brush roll is still pretty good. Alright, so that's in place. Everything seems to be turning freely. Belt's lined up good. Move it over just a hair. Alright, that's it. It's clean. It's a lot better than it did. It's going to work a lot better than it did. quite frankly, the best way to check the brush roll is really just to put it on the carpet and see how much load the motor comes under. You should hear a considerable difference in speed when the head is sitting on the carpet versus when you're holding it above the carpet and there would be no load from the brush roll. Alright, let's put that belt cover back on. This gasket's being a little flaky. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, see, it came out from the back. I gotta fix that. That's gonna annoy me as I use it. Okay, I think we're good with that now. Well, it's still not quite perfect on the back here, but it's just, that's the way it's going to be. Something's a little off with it. It's not a functional problem, I'm not too concerned about it. Yeah, it's sweeping the carpet. I think it'll be fine. Okay. Well, I'd say that looks pretty good. I don't see too many of these in this good condition anymore. Alright, so we'll just quickly vacuum out the inside of the bag. I don't think there's much of any dust in there to speak of. But I'll just give it a quick vacuum out. I'll put a new bag in there, and then we'll be ready to test this thing out. Okay, so this one takes the bags with the bagging dock. So we'll get some bags and we'll get one in there and then we'll test it out. This, no, it's not this one, it's the other kind. I do buy the actual Oreck bags just to support the concept that they still make the same bag after all these years. You can buy cheesy knockoff ones for half the price, but they just really aren't all that expensive to begin with. And they last a long time. They're huge bags. I gotta get some more. I've only got a few left. So this is the one for the dock. It's got the little hole in the bottom. Okay, that's all set. Okay, this is ready for use. Let's see how it works. This is rated for 4 amps. Usually draws about that if it's under reasonable load. Here we go. One of the bearings is a little noisy. It's almost pulling itself forward. That brush roll is in good shape still. That's extremely annoying. I bet that's the brush roll because I didn't hear that when I tested it before when the brush roll was not working. We'll probably just end up replacing the brush roll at this rate then. I'll try to put a couple drops of oil in there in the brush roll bearings. But the brush roll is ball bearings, So really needs to be replaced. Oil is not really a good solution. I'll just pull the belt off right quick, and if the noise goes away, then we know it's the brush roll bearings, most likely. Not 100%, because the sound of the motor bearings could change as the load changes, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the brush roll. Try my switch thing here. Yeah, it's got to be the brush roll bearings. It's completely silent without the brush roll. I'm sure the motor bearings are much better quality anyways. Well, this one I guess we can drop a little bit of oil in there and see if it makes a difference. It's a little bit too much. I gotta get a ticker towel to clean this up. That's spinning pretty free. This one I don't think I can get to this bearing. This is probably the one that's having the problem though, because this has all the weight on it. All the load from the belt. Well, we'll just have to get a new brush roll, that's all. Not a big deal, it's an inexpensive part. I might also just try using it a couple times and see if it breaks in. Because quite possibly it will, especially if the belt loosens up a little bit after one or two uses. That sound might go away. If not, we'll replace brush roll. Let's see if the sound has come back or not. Maybe it was that oil fix that. I'd be very surprised if that's the case, but sometimes things are surprising. And that at least would be a pleasant surprise. I don't like that we've had to take these screws in and out so many times during the service. These are only threading into a plastic stud. They will only thread in and out a very finite number of times until, or should I say a small finite number of times, until they don't catch anymore. We're nowhere near that point right now, but I don't like just having to waste a whole bunch of times. Alright, let's see if it's quiet now. I'm going to say it's almost 100% the brush roll. I'll order a new one and swap it in. Not a big deal. This came out great, cleaned up real nice, and it's working good, aside from the noise.